delicious.
Just water, though, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Concert Junkies, Rob and John. Oh, yeah.
And we're live, guys.
What up?
What's going on?
What's going on? Would you like to introduce yourselves?
We are the Deaf. My name is Nikolai. I'm the lead singer.
Ryan, guitar.
John, bass. Barry, guitar. Chris, drums.
And you, sir?
Hello, I'm Jake. Sorry about that.
Manager.
All right, so I'm going to start with a hard question here. This goes for everybody. What do you want to leave as your legacy?
Wow.
Man.
Ouch.
Starting off with a hard question.
It's a dark question for a Fat Tuesday during Mardi Gras.
Oh, is that what today is?
Yeah. Today's Fat Tuesday.
A topic of conversation, whether it's good or bad. I feel like every artist in any general medium or media, if you leave a topic of conversation or you are the topic of conversation, you've done something correct in your job. So we obviously make music, but we make our own album art, we make our own merch, we do all of that. So 100,000 years from now, when the world's taken over by aliens, if you're still talking about the dev, we've done something correct.
Right, yeah.
Even if you're talking shit and saying that we're the reason why the world was taken over. Reptilians. At least you're talking about us. So I guess as long as we leave conversation and inspiration behind, then we've probably done our job as artists and musicians.
Okay.
Legacy, a story.
Yeah.
Mm.
So are we going around to everybody for this one?
Yeah.
Okay, so for me,
That's me.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing. You want to leave something from an artistic and creative perspective of it's something cool that maybe somebody will listen to in 20, 30, 40, 50 years long after you're gone. And I mean, depending on, how the medium changes as far as how people listen to music. But, I think every band's just looking to kind of make a little mark and create an emotional response in the listener. And as long as you can do that, whether it's temporary, whether it's long, and whether you do it 1,000 times or you do it once, I mean, that's all it is. It's that moment you get going. And when we get fans and people come up to us and add something to them, and in their everyday soundtrack of life where they listen to music, we're a part of that. And whether it's good times or bad times, or in between, as long as they're kind of listening to us and getting something from it, that's kind of a legacy that I'll always take with me and carries on.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that 100%. For me, I mean, I think I'm going to steal from, is it Beyonce, where I just want people to know I was here. It wasn't.
I think it is Beyonce.
Yeah,
I would know this, right? Because I'm the girl? Okay.
No, but no, just I was here, I want the world to know it's I left something, but I was here.
Mm.
Pretty much agree with everyone else. I mean, I don't really care if it's a legacy or if people know who I am or not. If you listen to the music and I made you have an emotion, whether that's you hate it and you never want to hear it again, or you love it or it changed your life, then I did my job, And if I did that, then I'm kind of happy. Whether it's one person who has that feeling or millions, it doesn't matter.
1 million. Well, I would say I would just want my legacy to be remembered as somebody who works hard and never gave up.
Yeah.
And that I think could be said for the music in general. It's just keep working hard and just don't give up on it. You never know what can happen.
Sir, do you want to ask a question?
What is your favorite experience that you've ever had at a show or concert? What has been most memorable to you as an individual for all of you?
For starters, I'll start it off with probably our first House of Blues show. The band was together publicly for maybe 3-4 months. We had a single that was just released called Broken Lies, and it was streaming on WJRR radio, and which is actual airtime radio, a local channel that you hear and listen to in Central Florida. And first off, we lost our shits on that because we're oh my God, this is awesome. We've only been out for so long and it's already on the radio. But then knowing that we were playing House of Blues next, that was a big deal. when we were on stage, and I think we didn't play it first. I think it was like our second to last song that we played. People started singing back to us, and you can actually like go through our tag videos, and someone uploaded it where you literally see them holding the camera and they're screaming the chorus of Broken Lies. So that was like the very first like aha and oh my God moment, because you kind of imagine that, I guess later on in your career when you're as a musician, but you don't expect that for like your first House of Blues show, let alone like your first really big show and your first single out on like radio airstream. So for me, that was like a wow, okay, cool. We're doing this right moment.
Yeah, I've had a lot of like fun moments, like for me as a musician or just going to shows in general. I think one of my favorite moments as like a kid growing up, going to shows, like I went to a bunch of big tours like South Florida, but I got to see Goldfinger, and like I remember jumping on stage and like putting my arm around Jonathan Feldman, and it was just like because he called people up on stage, and I got like a drumstick, and I was just a dumb kid, and it was just a fun experience. And then like as far as playing, oh man, again, I could give you naughty stories, like I could give you fun stories, bad stories, but I think one of the best ones, I was in a band like as a hired gun, and I was playing the Warped Tour, and we were in Pittsburgh, and actually we got to headline that day, and that's where my dad's family's from, and like I had some family out, and it was one of my first like major tours that I did, and it was just like a humbling experience, but it was really cool to kind of just like connect the dots with family and where I was in my career and what I was doing, and it just it was like that over top emotional like experience of just playing Warped Tour with like all those kids and being there with my family and just all that. So that was cool.
I'm going to say for me it was Louder Than Life, getting to play up in Kentucky and getting to be backstage, hanging out with everybody, doing interviews and stuff, and getting to meet Ron Daler from the drummer from Mastodon, get a quick picture with him. That was really bad because I've been a big fan of Mastodon thanks to this guy who got me into them. And the other cool thing about being at Louder Than Life was during Mastodon's set, both of us got to go and watch some of their set together and hang out. It was really
rad.
pretty awesome. Enjoyed ourselves. On a personal level, fun times I had at the concert was there was this festival where Damage Plan played back when Dimebag and Vinnie Paul were in the band, and I got to be backstage for that entire concert. A friend of mine was doing his company was doing sound and lights for the entire show, so I got to spend the whole afternoon backstage, just drinking and partying and having fun with all the people back there. It was great.
Yeah, I'd say for me too, it's Louder Than Life, I would say too. Kind of still is, but no, the energy was really good that day. I think definitely that crowd was like really good. Something about it. We made some lifelong fans off of, we actually had people come to our House of Blues show here in January from Kentucky, from that show.
Wow.
That's,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I guess personal for that, I would say the first time I got to see kids, probably. So yeah, it's probably the first time I got to see them. That changed my life pretty much as a musician, how I approach things as a musician. So yeah, of course, Louder Than Life was on the for Love in Rockville. Both of those same many. Getting the honor to play those fantastic crowd was amazing. I could say which one I actually enjoyed personally going to when I was a teenager. I went to see Allman Brothers, Keller Williams, and Rat Dog play, and it was outside and it rained. And I got covered in mud, did a ton of drugs, and it was a blast. So, little hippie experience. So
party time.
Yeah, that was
That'd be a good
definitely
t-shirt.
probably one of the ton of drugs covered in mud.
Yeah, exactly. One of probably the best shows ever. Yeah.
So,
here,
go ahead.
go ahead.
So I hear that you guys had an interesting occurrence at, I think it was a strip club at one point in your guys' career.
Do you want us to go in depth on that? Is that what you're implying?
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I mean,
That sounds interesting. It sounds juicy.
but it's appropriate, yeah, because it's kind of like, you know, Mardi
it
Gras.
was in New Orleans.
We're in New Orleans.
Yeah. So we were on tour, and we had like a single day where we could just like rest, which you don't really get much when you're like, you know, doing
It
shows
was
on
actually
the road.
it was our last day.
Yeah.
So it was like a celebration. Yeah, we celebrated.
Oh, I celebrated.
It was pretty cool. It didn't start off like in a strip club. We kind of just like hit the block, and we had like a really cool restaurant where I'm pretty sure like the room was haunted because like doors were opening and closing by themselves, and we had the whole entire like ballroom just to ourselves to have dinner. And you know, we're walking down New Orleans, and mind you, this is like right after COVID. Basically, like all like the rules were lifted, but people still needed like vaccination cards and whatnot. So strip clubs and clubs in general were basically like begging for people to come in. And at one point, we go into a strip club and we walk in, and I guess one thing led to another where I was in a bathroom surrounded by like strippers, and it just dawned on me that like, oh my God, how awesome would it be if like a stripper could like dance to our song, and the bandmates were like, oh my God, that'd be the coolest thing ever. And then one thing led to another, and there was a really hot chick named Eve that has her tongue
What up,
split.
Eve?
What up, Eve?
Mhm.
Eve that has her tongue split like a snake, and she has an apple tattoo on her ass and spider tattoos on her nipples. And next thing you know, she's at the very top of the pole, and when the drum bass hits, she like hits a split in the middle of the stage and starts twerking on her merch girl that's like right next to the stage. And we're literally getting to watch our song Queen of the Damned getting twerked by Eve, which is kind of ironic if you think about that, because it's like Eve at the Apple, Queen of the Damned. We're in like Sin City, New Orleans, so it was a very good full circle and
Very mild.
very, very
it was a
Motley
rock
Crue.
and roll, nice,
I felt kind of like a Gordon Lightfoot.
Ironically, there were more things that were
We were the
untamed.
kings of Bourbon Street that night.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's kings and queens of Bourbon Street.
That is like our PG explanation of like what happened in New Orleans. There was a lot
PG is good. PG
Yeah.
is good. I know there's been some moments that haven't been so PG, but PG is good.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I'll leave some of the stuff that have happened otherwise when I've been around you guys to us. An air of mystery for the fans. What has the Dav done behind the scenes?
Lots of
Deep thoughts.
So if you could pick one song to describe you, what song would that be?
A good one.
Our catalog, right? Or can we pick?
No, anybody.
Out of any like catalog, like just our song.
Any catalog, anybody.
Any catalog, any song that you think describes you. If you have to send it to somebody.
Oof. Nikolai, that's a hard one.
John Universe by Jack Harlan and the Dead Crows.
Ooh, good choice.
It's a song about me becoming the universe.
Oh.
So anyway,
That's very the Dev. Yes, agreed. Yes. Okay, so it's not going to be a song that anyone can search, but it will be a song that's going to be like released shortly, within this year at least. It doesn't have like an official name yet, but I call it CCW. We call it CCW, and the only reason why I say this is because I feel like in order to describe the band, I believe it needs to be one of our songs, because even though we are inspired by so many artists, I can't take a System of a Down song, even though I love System of a Down, it's my favorite song in the world, and say that like it's the band song. Just like, you know, I can't like find another artist that is us, because I don't think there is us. I love System of a Down. They're all to like way different artists that like what I'm into. So I would say CCW in the respect that it has a pretty like lengthy intro. It's very Pink Floyd-ish, but I still keep my vocals and that more bluesy, raspier, smoky sound. Ryan really gets to go like in on the solo. It's probably one of my favorite solos that Ryan's written. You know, there's a lot of drums, a lot of bass, a lot of rhythm. I mean, we were figuring out harmonies together. So I think for us, if when the song comes out, CCW is going to be the song that better represents us, just because it really does have a lot. It's close to our first single, Broken Lies, where there's a lot of weird breakdowns in there. So you can just see what we've all been inspired in. So
It's a journey.
It's a journey. And I would say that just because it's one of our longer songs, you can hear us do the most on that song. So even if you don't like maybe the intro, you're probably gonna like headbang to the chorus, or maybe you're not into the chorus, you probably like the verses. So it really does kind of offer an array of what we personally CCW for me.
Yeah, but I think he was asking like what song describes you as a person, like an artist that you
So,
like, not necessarily.
My
Yeah.
answer is very simple and direct.
Person or a band? I thought it was band.
Huey Lewis,
No, person.
right? Huey Lewis, The Heart of Rock and Roll is what I would send anybody, simply because I would have to say to them, listen, if you listen to this man's message and what's going on in this song, I'm trying to tell you about the heart of rock and roll and how good rock and roll is, right? So if you can understand that from city to city, right? The heart of rock and roll is still beating, and you're gonna like us, you're gonna like a lot of other bands too, because we're all rock bands. So that's a good answer. Yeah, perfect.
I like that answer.
You're welcome. Very deep. I was thinking so deep while she was saying that. I was like, I got it, man. I got it.
That was a very deep answer, Ryan. That was a very deep answer.
Rock and roll is for me. You got it. That's right.
That's why he's in the band.
Sticking to it.
It's like-
Musical education, everyone. Someone you've probably never heard of. Check him out, Huey Lewis.
Oh man, I hope everybody knows who he is.
Surprise! I mean, sadly, there probably are some.
What's your answer, man?
I would say who you talking about?
Me? I already
Yeah.
gave mine.
Anybody?
I don't know, man. That's a good question, though. It really is. But I would say Jukebox Hero is a foreigner.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
yeah.
That's a great song.
Is it Foreigner or Liver?
It's Foreigner, yeah.
It's
It's
Foreigner,
Foreigner,
yeah,
yeah.
that's right,
And I would say that. I mean, just because it speaks a lot of truth. You know, first time I heard like electric guitar, I was like, yeah, blew me away. You know, I was like, yeah, this is what I want.
Good one, too.
So I'm going to keep mine short, simple, and to the point. Not that I'm a huge Dragon Force fan, but Through the Fire and Flames, because I am very intense. And I've been through some shit. So,
Okay.
Is this personal songs? I thought it was like to
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was personal, but
Yeah, you
Oh, I wasn't-
I took your answer as well.
But I
Yeah, it was-
CCW, but
But your
then
answer was personal.
no, but then if I'm doing personal, I take that all back and I just say
Umbrella. Umbrella by Rihanna.
No, it's gonna be
Fuck
Nicki
no.
Minaj, Stupid Hoe.
no.
Zombie.
Super by Nicki
I'm gonna
Minaj.
vote Zombie.
Fucker.
Bird.
No, I actually personal. I would probably say, oh my god, this sounds really weird and stupid, but like My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion.
Dude, such a good song though.
It is.
It is. Dude,
So,
I as a kid would dance to that song all the time. I'd listen to the album and dance to it. So yes, great song.
Could you imagine you were Leonardo DiCaprio, like at the
Dude, legit. I did.
Dude, I'm not
You guys
gonna lie,
know me.
visuals are insane. I was like 3-4 years old watching like Titanic for the first time, and like it was my favorite movie of all time. This Valentine's Day, I saw the movie, and I was at the like museum. And then I actually my first competition ever in music. I was with this guy named Lou Pearlman, which I mean we all know now. We all know like
Joe Schmo named Lou
Yeah.
Pearlman. Yeah,
so I won a competition with Lou Pearlman, and he flew me out for free to like Las Vegas to continue in the competition, which come to find out he was like, you know, into like child pornography and like
Oh
scamming babies.
God.
We didn't
Yeah.
stick with that, but I saw Celine Dion live. So I guess My Heart Will Go On is like a very emotional song, but it was definitely the song that like completely inspired me in the sense that no one sounds like Celine Dion. And this lady had killer vocals. Seeing her on stage and move was insane. And even though it's not rock and roll now, I can say that like I've been heavily influenced by that movie and that song, so much so that like I try not to stay still on stage. And like I always aspire for my vocals to be as strong as hers. So My Heart Will Go On, Celine Dion.
I can dig it.
And
I'm
mine-
actually kind of surprised by the Resident Vikings answer. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Chris.
actually the John Carlin and the Dead Crows song, John Becomes the Universe. It's actually I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston because I
I
feel that
fucking-
deep down inside, it really drives me as a person. Because all I want to do is
He's
just
just-
dance with somebody.
Yeah, he's the lover of the group. He just wants to dance with everybody.
Dude, he's the one who's all over the damn stage on bass, so I can feel it. Yeah, you dance with that bass quite well there, bud. Your love affair with that thing is beautiful.
Thank you, thank you.
So on that logic, John, because I love making phone calls, my favorite song is now "Call Me Maybe."
There you
Dude,
go.
what the
That's what I'm
fuck?
gonna go out there and
Guys,
see.
My Heart Will Go
Yeah.
On. It's a really good song.
Next.
So like screw you guys.
All
right, so
That's a
so
good
if you can have your own 2-day festival, first day is female fronted, second day is Dead or Alive. Who are your top 5?
Oh shit.
Wait, so the
We'll,
first
Day is
we'll
Dead
each
or
just
Alive.
pick one. That makes sense, right?
Day 1 is all female fronted. Day
So-
2 is Dead or Alive.
Right. One of us is gonna have to say the dev, all female fronted.
I'll say the dev.
There you go. That's his
Headlining.
pick.
well, I mean, we're gonna be in it. It's our 2-day festival, inevitably.
Yes.
So
Right.
I don't know if I want to waste that answer, and because we're gonna be in it, right?
Yeah, but it's female fronted.
Okay, so yeah, I guess that's
We're in it. All right. Who's next? I know.
That's
Kristen.
tough.
yeah. Like,
That's like really tough.
No, I'm actually
None of my questions are easy.
I'm dead between either the Pretty Reckless or In This Moment.
You can have both
Okay.
of them.
Can I say 2 bands instead of 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get 5.
Oh, I
5
get
for
5.
each day.
Yeah, in this moment, the Pretty Reckless, Paramore, and like Haley's been totally killing it on social media, and like she's hilarious as hell. So I definitely want to talk to her. Amy Lee, because
Yes.
hello, like
Yeah.
Evanescence, come on. And then last, so I don't listen to this band as much, but I feel like if I had to pick a band that would mesh with us and those bands too and bring in a little bit of heaviness and whatnot, I would say Hailstorm. Just because I have been compared where they're like, oh, you almost remind us of Hailstorm. And I feel like it would be a really good like blend of like poppy rock to like
Yeah.
us to like Evanescence, and then progressively gets heavier.
That'd be badass.
Yeah. Those are my
So who are your dead alive?
Dead or Alive.
Yep,
Yes.
you're 5 Dead or Alive.
Okay, so festival. Ozzy Osbourne, because he's probably not going to be here much longer.
That's not right. That's
He's
not
like on
right.
the
That's
borderline.
not right.
So Ozzy Osbourne, but in Black Sabbath.
Ooh.
System of a Down. Oh my God. Misfits, but with Danzig.
So with Doyle?
I'm sorry.
With Doyle.
Yeah. I said System. I said Black Sabbath. I said yeah. And then, see, now I'm getting nervous.
Mm.
It's 2 more bands.
I know, but like, what 2 bands do you choose? I feel like I would need like a newer band in there, but I don't want to give a newer band.
I'm still shocked you haven't said Queen.
I love Queen, but like, I'm a Led Zeppelin girl more.
Ooh, that, yes. Yes.
And then to close it off, I would say, what was that one song?
Sure.
I would say Guar.
Guar? Are you talking about what Dave Rocky Guar?
I take a
Odorungus?
Lamb of God, because I saw Lamb of God live, and that guy runs around stage like a psychopath, and I don't know how he manages to like do what he does. So Lamb of God.
A few of the bands that you've mentioned we've seen live.
What'd you say?
I said a few of the bands that you've mentioned we've seen live.
Yes. I would say Lamb of God. I take back Guar, because we got to see Guar behind stage at Louder Than Life, and I think they look really cool on stage. I saw them multiple times, but when I saw Lamb of God, I was genuinely impressed with the singer, so much so. And
Randy?
Yeah.
He's a beast.
And
He is a god amongst men when it comes to metal.
Yeah. So I would say that Lamb of God. Oh my God,
such a
that was really
sweetheart
hard.
too. Really nice.
All right. Who's next?
So female fronted. Let's go. Well, I gotta say the Dev, right? I'm gonna say a band out of North Carolina, Forever May Fall, because I wanted to play with them. I really like them. Ginger, probably. They're really good. Spirit Box in this moment. Pretty simple, right? Like, and then Dead or Alive for Dead. I'm probably gonna stick with all Dead because I wanted to see these people back. So Michael Jackson, Prince, The Doors, Jim Morrison, obviously, Nirvana, Kurt Cobain, and Jimi Hendrix.
Oh. Boom, boom, boom. That's a festival right there, man. Holy shit.
At Dead Festival, I would just be like, can we just live in this moment forever? When Prince comes out and plays Little Purple Rain. Let's go.
Oh, man. In the rain. He's got to do it in the rain.
No, not in the rain. Come on.
He killed it in the rain.
On stage. Yeah, but he wasn't plugged in.
There's an overhang.
Listen, he's only coming back for one day.
Yeah, he can
They
die.
dyed the rain purple.
Okay.
They dye the rain purple, yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
next. We have five female fronted bands.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you know?
I think we named almost all of them right now.
I was gonna say I have one for that.
Dylan. You're too close to me, man. No, I would say female friend. Okay, I'm gonna go with Barbara Streisand, Celine Dion,
That's good, man.
I can do that.
Gloria Estefan, and the
Yes,
Miami
the
Sound
Sound
Machine.
Oh.
Yes.
Soundtrack to my
Yes.
right there.
Exactly.
Growing up in South Florida, that's fair.
That's 3.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're gonna top this. Let's say Cher.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you said.
I said it to you on the
Oh,
side.
yeah. Sidebar.
Sidebar. We did a sidebar. And then lastly, I'm going to go with Joni Mitchell.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
And then Dead or Alive, Led Zeppelin original lineup. I would have to see them. I'd have to see the Stones when in the 70s Stones, the early 70s Stones, for sure. Early 70s Black Sabbath for sure. I'd really like to see like mid to late 80s Motley Crue, you know, when Vince was actually in shape.
Yes.
That time frame. Yeah.
When he didn't look like the fucking abominable snowman from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then that's 4, right? And then the one would be I'd like to see Nirvana. I really liked Nirvana when they came out when I was a kid, so it's pretty awesome.
Speaking of that, Kurt's birthday was yesterday.
Yes, it was. Rest in power. Barrett, your
So-
turn.
Female fronted, of course, the Dove, and the small thing. Pretty reckless. The Haunt, because I would like to
Yeah.
put it down.
It's very good. Band.
Yes. And New Year's Day.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I love Ash Costello. She's such a doll. Her ex-boyfriend, Jimmy Trigger, is really cool, too, by the way. Friend of mine.
Dead or Alive, I would have to say CCR.
Oh, yeah.
That's a ton. Led Zeppelin, the original Led Zeppelin, of course. Nirvana. It's like these guys were just stealing shit from me.
Great minds think
What is
alike.
yeah? What is that? 3.
Kiss.
No, because I've seen them a million times. So yeah. Definitely Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
Definitely love to experience that. And I have to see the Beatles. I'd kind of like to see what that was all about.
The Beatles mania that totally took over America in the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, why did people actually like that? That's what I would like to figure out.
That's a good question, man, because they had bands like the Monkees and stuff back then, too.
Yep.
All right. The resident Viking, Chris.
So,
Get it.
of course, us, the Dev, right? Ginger, Fox, in this moment, and Hailstorm. Say it again. Say it. The Dev. And then for Dead or Alive, I'm gonna just go with mainly Alive, and I'm gonna say Cattle Decapitation,
Ooh.
Lamb of God, Slipknot.
Actually, Stevie Wonder is a really good option.
Chelsea Grin, and
Depends on the Chelsea Grin lineup. Depends on the Chelsea Grin lineup. They've had a few changes.
yeah, true. So let's say
What about Captain Beach and Shrimp Shack?
Shut the
let's say the original lineup.
Okay.
The one that doesn't suck, right?
Is there a way that we can only mute John? Like, is there a
I mean,
Mute all of us.
Damn it, John.
This is why we have to run PA next time,
I
guys.
can put my hand over his mouth while he talks.
So I have input for that little question because there's a few females that no one has mentioned. Obviously, there would be the Dev. There would be Exandria. Don't know if you guys know Exandria. Delane, another band. Most of these are European symphonic metal bands, by the way. So operatic, right? Visions of Atlantis,
I've heard of that.
Leaves Eyes, and of course, I've already said the Dev. So that would be female. Dead
Yeah.
would be Janis Joplin.
Yeah.
Original Metallica with Mustaine and Burton. Right? That's pretty hardcore there. I would also say Original Sabbath, because you can't go wrong there. Dio, the almighty Dio. Is that 5? I think that's 5.
Yeah.
I mean, Dio. It's fucking Dio.
He had rocked for a long, long time.
All right.
All right. Freaky Friday scenario. Which member of the band you do not want to be for 24 hours?
I think we're all gonna play, right?
I don't want to be Nikolai.
What?
No, it's not. It's not because of. It's just.
It's the makeup, love. It's the makeup. I couldn't deal with doing makeup all damn day. I just
You know, but like, you guys get to like have boobs.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, but then we also have to have that other issue that might be going on that certain day at that certain time.
If it's 24 hours just sitting at home, then it doesn't really fucking
Yeah,
matter.
it
But if
wouldn't
we have to go perform, I'm not standing up in front of everyone.
And when
I'm
I
not
was
on a
80
microphone,
pounds
fuck
heavier,
that.
I had boobs.
So maybe you'd be okay with it.
Wow, really? Just okay.
That's
So
a good joke.
I mean, I take that back. I might not want to be John. I don't know if I'd like his job.
fuck. Who would I not want to be?
Theoretically.
No, I'm trying to figure out like.
Probably
I mean, if we're
not.
talking
Boring, yeah.
instruments, I wouldn't want to be John because I can't play the bass to save my life.
Well, I
And
can't
the
play a
strings are
single
too big.
fucking instrument.
So would you just think of it from an instrument? Who you wouldn't want to be because you don't want to play that instrument.
I'm not included in this, am I, Rob?
No.
I'm not included in this question.
Who would I not
Good.
want
Yeah.
to?
Good. So manager's out. I'm happy.
Yeah.
It's Freaky Friday too. So whoever you don't want to be is also whoever you don't want to be. You.
Oh yeah. Switcheroo.
So you switch
That's a
sides.
tough question. That's a really tough question. I like this one.
Wait a minute. Or actually, Ryan. Okay, so here's my reasoning. Ryan likes to turn his back on the stage a lot while he's doing like solos and stuff.
He does.
And like he doesn't like to be like center. John would be perfectly fine. He'd booty shake on stage and not give a damn.
He
Barrett
does.
it wouldn't be that hard for him.
I like to
But
hype
to
that on
see
myself.
him either have to like prance around in a latex suit would be pretty dope. And I would totally be like down to like manage his like t-shirt company or like Chris. I just want to see like a Viking personality dress sexy and like talk to like guy interviewers and guy radio host guys and not want to knock them out in the face. So now I know that I'm like altering your answer, but I'm going to go with Chris. I'm going to not want to be Chris, but high key want Chris to be me because it'd be really funny. And I would also really hate to play double bass because I can't even hit a bass drum for more than like 30 seconds without my shit killing me. But Chris.
Ooh. Yeah. Mm.
Oh my God, but I could braid my beard and put glitter in it.
Yes.
I think Chris would die when he comes back. I don't think he'd be a very happy Viking.
I'd
No.
be yelling at. You know,
Oh,
somebody
I would-
have
yelling
a
at me.
Brazilian wax job done.
Oh yeah.
I think Chris's wife might be yelling at you. Shit.
Well, you could be. You could clean me all up, get me all shaved.
Yeah, I'd make you look really pretty.
Take care of me.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to be Chris, but I low-key kind of want to be Chris.
Chris, be scared and honored at the same time.
All right, guys. Since we're at the halfway mark, you can ask me any question you would like.
As an interviewer, who did you like interviewing more out of all of us bandmates?
Ooh.
Pick a favorite.
Spot. That's hard.
He just did that to me, and everyone picked me. So
But
now
he's
I can put
interviewing
him
us
on.
all at the same time. So
Yes.
that's not possible.
So it's kind of like
Like, who's
Okay,
your favorite
kinda-
out of all of
I'm
us?
searching for
I kind of want to play the fifth on this one. It's kind of like early into the interview.
Yeah, he doesn't like talking to any of us.
Well, right now
Right.
he already knows that it's not going to be you now.
That's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine. I'm apparently no one's favorite. You guys don't even want to be me.
Oh, Nikolai, we love you. Shush. Exactly. You already know.
Hmm.
So questions.
Any more?
You have any more questions for him?
By the way, I don't count in
That
this
was my
part.
question.
That's all you guys.
Not another-
Yeah.
Name your top 5 favorite interviewers.
Ooh.
People that interview other.
Yeah, like,
Okay.
you know.
I need clarification. I'm sorry.
Wait a minute, except for
Interview
myself. So people that I've interviewed or other interviewers?
Interviews that you like.
Other interviewers that I like. The Loud Spot with Sebastian, forever. Fran from Savage Ladies of Metal, and that's about it. Really, I don't really watch anybody else.
Right on.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I could throw Narwhal in there, but like, it's a hit or miss with him.
Oh, is that Canadian guy?
I think he's Canadian. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he wears like the funny hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Be glad you guys aren't interviewed by him. He digs. Like he digs. He'll bring up shit from y'all's like childhoods.
I hope he does.
Go for it.
I mean,
Challenge accepted.
And I'll just bury myself right back up.
I'll make sure to have a shovel ready for you. Okay.
Visible deniability, man. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. So I have.
Oh man, I'm surprised you didn't say like Jose Mangan and shit like that.
That's what I was.
I don't really go back and watch anybody else's interview styles or anything like that.
That's commendable though. That means you have your own style, which is, that's commendable. You're not trying to imitate someone else.
No.
So I dig that.
No.
All right, guys. Do you have any more questions for him? I know you guys do. Come on.
Yeah, I was going to say. There's a train leaving Chicago at 4 p.m. on Thursday.
Damn it,
Yeah.
John.
At 60 miles an hour. At the same time that train leaves, there's a train in New York that leaves going
You
in the same direction at 75 miles an hour. At what point, when they pass,
Does anybody have duct tape for John's mouth? Anybody?
That's right.
I can Venmo you guys the
Yeah.
money.
That was my answer. If you didn't hear it, I'll do it again.
Now, I do got one for you. What is your like top 5, like the festival question that you asked us? What is your like,
Female fronted. I'm gonna have to say Forever May Fall, Dying Oath, Noxia, that's 3. I'd put In This Moment in there, that's 4. And Lilith Rising is number 5. Then Dead or Alive, I'm going to go... Well, I'm a big Korn fan, so Korn, then Pearl Jam, Seven Dust, and the other 2... I know it'd be a weird matchup, but I'm going to say Billie Eilish would be on there, and maybe Halsey.
Huh.
nice.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That is actually interesting. I dig that. I've hung out with 3 of those 5 bands.
Halsey's actually a really good lyricist. And I didn't really wrote a majority of her music until like one day I was on Spotify, and you can like go under the song credits. And I saw that she was not only writing a lot of songs for herself, but then like she wrote a lot of songs for artists before she got picked up. So I was like, oh wow.
Isn't she the one who's with Musk? Is that the woman who's with Elon Musk? Which one is that?
That was that wasn't her. Halsey was with like G-Eazy on this one, and then now she's just like so good.
That's who it was. I know some musician was with Musk for a minute.
I know who you're talking about. She's some like weird like pop synth artist.
Yeah.
Name.
Yeah.
Grimes. Grimes?
So yes, Grimes, that's her name. Grimes.
Hey,
Okay.
Lilith. Someone said hi with hearts. Hi.
Oh, there is. Oh,
Look at that. We have people. Hello. Welcome to the show.
I have a question for you. What
okay.
is probably like the weirdest situation that's happened during like an interview? Like go into depth and explain like what was like a weird thing. Like did you ask a question that you got like a weird answer back, so on and so forth?
Not per se weird, but I've had like animals come through barking or a child running through, but nothing really too like weird yet.
No, nothing like crazy or like what the hell's happening right now?
Yeah,
Like
no, not yet. Like, I mean, there's been, interesting answers to the majority of my questions, but yeah, nothing's really been that weird yet.
I want to piggyback off her question with a follow-up to that one.
Okay.
If you were a hot dog and you were stranded on a desert island, would you eat yourself?
That's a hard question.
That is a hard question. Yeah.
because
I mean, like,
delicious and scrumptious.
I know I would.
You're stranded on an island.
in brown mustard.
I'm stranded on an island and I'm a hot dog. Am I going to eat myself?
Yes.
I mean, like, there's. So you're saying there's no coconuts, there's no other source of food whatsoever? Just I'm a random hot dog on an island,
Yeah,
and if I don't eat myself, I'm gonna die.
pretty much.
I'm gonna die. Like, and it's a lose-lose situation no matter what.
Either way, you're
That's
going.
22.
No matter what, you're gonna die. It's a catch-22 here.
Are you the
Like,
correct hot dog, or do you have like arms and legs, but they're like hot dog arms and legs?
Like from that movie.
Yeah.
where they-
Oh my god. Dude, if you had like hot dog like fingers, would it be like sausage fingers?
Because in that
Yes.
case, you could eat a finger and still survive,
If you
right?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
I mean,
It has gone off the rails.
Hot dogs. Like you had hot dog fingers.
like my next question is gonna be,
those and still get around.
If that's the case, Yeah.
What's your next question, John? Rob? Shit.
Trying to keep it interesting.
Was on a rant. Also, hi to Rob and concert junkies that's like in the chat. What's up?
What's up, guys?
oh no, that was me saying back to Lilith.
Yeah.
This is always the fun question I ask. If you could be any object in the world, what would you want to be? And a person is not an object.
Can we transform back and forth to the object? Or do
No,
we
I
have
mean,
forever and
I
ever? and
know.
ever?
I know what. Nicki Minaj's thong.
What the f-
Oh, God. No. The sweat and nastiness from that. Ugh. The-
is it?
Hey,
Say what?
Wait, does it have to be like a real object or can it be like in a movie scenario or like a fantasy scenario?
like if you want to be a prop, you can be a prop. I mean, that is an object. A microphone's an object. Car keys are an object. I mean, anything.
yeah.
Damn it, because I wanted to say I wanted to be Optimus Prime because technically he's an object.
technically, Optimus Prime is an object. He is a
So
robot.
you're-
But I don't want
But-
to be an action figure of Optimus Prime. I want to be Optimus.
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
Well, but to go to that, if you're going to be, do you need life insurance or car insurance? If you're Optimus Prime.
I would
Hard.
probably have to do like a bundled insurance
Also, a nice little umbrella.
in myself as I am a car, and then I become
She'd
like
be
a
with Geico
and then I would be like a human robot thing. And then when I'm not a human robot thing, I would need like boater insurance because like I'm pretty sure Optimus Prime could probably be like I would just need like a bundle.
That is a good philosophical question. What kind of insurance is Optimus
I would be Optimus Prime.
Octopus Prime?
Optimus Prime. Octopus Prime.
Octopus Prime puts a whole scary meaning to that thing, girly.
Yeah, exactly.
That opens up a
So-
lot of nasty doors.
Or do I
I love that Chris got that over there.
Wow.
That would fulfill a lot of fantasies that should not exist, okay? Scary.
What's your answer, Christopher?
For what object I'd want to be? That's a hard question to answer. Are we, so to answer, piggyback off of what Ryan was saying, are we allowed to change back and forth, or is it just
No.
No.
You're a hot dog on a freaking desert. That's what you are. I mean,
But are we animated? Like, can we like move the objects? Like,
No,
can we
you're the
feel?
object.
Can we
You're the
talk?
object,
Like,
yeah.
just
Just
get
the
here,
object,
right?
right?
So,
I already know mine.
you see, I would have initially said something kind of sexual like Barrett did, but then what happens if it changes ownership? You know, like it'd be nice if you were like, you know, dildo to some hot chick, but then all of a sudden you end up like a dildo to some like creepy weird dude, you know? So,
I mean,
Hot chick
Like-
likes to peg, and
yeah,
then
and
you're.
then you're not being used for what that needs to be.
Nikolai, there are
I mean,
children.
like you can take that chance, but you know,
All right, I got it. I'm gonna say a 1967 Chevy SS.
Ooh,
all right.
I like that answer. That's a very sexy answer.
Yes.
Vroom vroom.
Sex dildo.
It's better than pegging, Nikolai.
That's the bit.
Oh, mine?
Yeah,
Just
go
kind
ahead.
of looking at me. All right. I want
I
to
already
be.
said mine.
Mine would be, if I could be an object, any object, it would be the oldest pizza oven in Naples, Italy, where pizza comes from, because that's pretty freaking cool, and everybody loves pizza.
That's pretty good.
Now you're making me hungry.
Yeah.
We get the munchies.
Maybe a little bit.
If I had to be any object, you know, yeah, you could go sexual, you could go whatever, but I think I would be a surfboard, man, because you just have the most fun. You just be an object that literally rides waves, and then the person riding wipes out, and I mean, you don't really like, you just kind of tumble around.
But then you get jerked back from
Yeah,
that
but I
leash,
mean,
you know?
like, I can't feel anything because I'm inanimate. I'm just a fucking object.
Actually
So,
getting jerked by like the lower back, technically, right? Because that leash.
I just want to ride waves, man.
And the
I'd be a
pizza oven,
surfboard.
though, is I get
Well, could he be the waves? Could he be the ocean? I mean, technically.
The ocean.
The ocean's
If
hot,
he
though.
wants to be the ocean,
What? What?
I said if you want to be the ocean, you could be the ocean.
I'd be the ocean then. Sick.
Yeah, see? I figured you'd be the ocean, Ryan, you know?
For sure, man.
That's kind of where you're at, man. Go with the flow type thing.
I'll just flood the earth.
Yeah.
Damn Poseidon shit.
Yeah.
What about you? What about you, Rob? What would you be?
Probably a pillow.
A pillow?
Oh, turn into pillow.
I could be a pillow.
Pretty good.
I'd be a bass. I would be a bass or a camera. A bass or a camera.
Basically.
Because no matter what I'm doing, I'm creating beauty.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you can turn bass into pillow.
Technically, you can. I have slept on my bass. So yes, you can.
Well, bass, sleep on pillow. They look like bass.
It's a commercial.
Those are expensive and very big. Very, very big.
Yeah.
There's this Russian guy who turns anything you can think of into pillows, and we saw it once on tour. And John would not stop talking like that for like
Yeah,
the
it was like a
entire
tour tick.
Yeah. We have like a YouTube video
Yeah.
reference every tour because then the other one was like, I'm just trying to get to Westchester.
Yeah.
Westchester.
So we find like these famous like YouTube like things that are happening. I just call them tour ticks because everybody will start saying it, and then we all just start saying it every day to each other. And then when you're tired and you know like you haven't slept and everybody's just like whatever hungover, someone will start saying it, and just everybody in the van just laughs for like an hour and a half. You know, it's fun.
Yeah.
That's the best.
So here's a question. You guys have a lyric in one of your songs referencing wearing sunglasses at night.
I hate that fucking song with a passion. By the way, not yours.
Oh,
Not
okay.
yours.
Wow, that's a hard
Not
truth.
yours.
Right now.
Corey,
Nikolai,
not yours.
so
Freaking
what-
Corey
what's
Hart
the
can kiss
story?
my ass.
what's the story behind that? Behind that lyric of wearing sunglasses at night?
Oh, so we were at a place called Tribbles in Piedmont, South Carolina, and it's named after the guy Tribble. And who asked him, like, do you wear did I ask him, do you wear
Their
sunglasses all day?
prescription. Yeah.
So like someone asked him, like, oh, like, do you always wear sunglasses or whatever in the band? And he was like, the sun never sits on a badass. And he literally wore like full on shades at like
damn right.
11 o'clock at night to like 2 a.m. And then he has like shirts that say like, you goddamn right. So then,
Well, that was their saying there.
That was
yeah,
their
you
song,
goddamn right.
Yeah.
YGDR.
So then we like basically took his like phrase and I kind of incorporated into a lyric where it's like the sun never sets on this badass. Sunglasses at night, you goddamn right. And then we put into a song and then we like literally texted Tribble later on about it. We're like, hey, by the way, like you inspired like a lyric for the song because we literally wrote that song like a month after tour. It was like already done and then we just realized we're gonna go in the studio and record it right now.
I mean, like we went on this spring run, and the thing was, it was right like COVID was. Yeah, it was 2021, so nothing was really back open. People were unsure of everything still, and we just did this run, and it was really successful. Like people came out to the shows, and it was cool. And when we met him, he just had the spirit for life, And then us going back on the road at a time when most people weren't. It kind of like inspired us. And like when we kind of came back, like Barrett had written, he just kind of brought in, he's like, let's be inspired by like the moments that we just went through and try to capture it right away. So it's still fresh in our heads. And so we kind of had plans to release another song at that time. And we kind of just pushed it to the side and we're like, all right, let's go, let's record. And meeting Tribble, he was that guy. Like he was like, man, let's get ready, to just get back to life and enjoy it again. And so it was cool. It was a good experience, and it was fun to write something like immediately off of that.
He literally actually like took a picture off the wall and gave it to you.
Yeah, he was really cool.
And so like now Ryan always has like a piece of Tribbles in his house. No, but he was just a really cool guy. And I feel like that every tour there's always like a story, and it either like unifies us more or inspires us to do something. And we were literally driving back home to Florida, and before we even like landed back in Orlando, we were talking about how we were inspired enough to write a song about it. And so that's where that lyric literally came from Tribble's mouth himself. But then like that whole song in general was just like mostly inspired by Tribbles and then a couple other like venues from that tour.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Really cool guy.
It's cool, man. We lock Barrett up in a basement, throw him pizza crust. He just writes it. That's what he does. He lives off the pizza crust.
What was it? Was it David? Don't bore us. Get to the chorus.
Yeah.
You have a question for him, Rob?
Yeah, it's, Last Supper scenario. Who's your 12 disciples?
Oof.
Musicians or anybody?
It could be musicians, it could be family members, it could be cartoons. It doesn't matter. Just have one female present.
I would like to start off with Frenchie the bulldog that just screams and has like massive mental breakdowns, and I really like him because I feel like he'd be able to like spread the word well.
That already sounds like a party I don't want to go to.
It's such a cute because he's like,
I'm not having that.
Yeah, exactly.
So Frenchie the bulldog for sure. What's that one TV show, Love and Marriage? Love and Marriage. The wife with the really big red hair.
Married with
Katie
children.
Seagal.
Married with Children. Peggy. You're talking about Peggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Katie Seagal for sure. Fran Drescher because she's a vibe. Amy.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm already done with this.
I'm Albanian, so we already have like really like loud and wild dinners and family functions. So clearly, Amy Winehouse for sure. Surge for System of a Down. Johnny Depp for sure.
But which Johnny Depp?
What do you mean, which Johnny Depp?
Which
Like
era?
meaning himself, or
Yeah.
which character would you want him to be there as?
Every character.
I'm pretty
has a
sure he has
natural
like split
disciple.
personality disorder. So if I get Johnny
Okay.
Depp myself, I probably will get like figments of
Yeah,
Captain
just
Jack
don't say the one from
Sparrow.
Secret Window.
Yeah, no. Oh yeah,
Secret Garden.
Benny and June.
Benny and June, Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Depp.
So Johnny Depp, Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa, like, anyways, Adam Driver, but actually no, Adam Driver is Kylo Ren, for sure.
Oh man, I'm in his city right now where he was born and raised.
How many people did I name? I think I named 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 4 more. Lacey Sturm from Flyleaf. Jack Dawson from Titanic.
Ooh, Leo.
No, I want Jack Dawson from Titanic, just like I like want Kylo Ren. Like I love Adam Driver, but I love Kylo Ren. And like Jason Momoa is Jason Momoa. It doesn't matter like what he's from, or same thing Johnny Depp. I just want them. And then 3. Oh dear Lord.
You still have 3 more? I think you named like 20 people.
I know.
No, I didn't. 12. Will Smith.
Are we talking about Slap Happy Will Smith or like Men in Black Will Smith?
Chris Rock gonna be there.
No, no.
Oh, there we go.
Will Smith before Jada Pinkett Smith.
Ooh,
Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince.
Free Jada. Free
Yeah,
Jada.
no, Will Smith when he was doing like crazy cool action movies, he like wasn't with Jada Pinkett Smith just yet.
so like Men in Black.
Yes, Men in Black, Will Smith.
Bad Boys 1 Will Smith.
Yeah, and then
Not Bad Boys 3.
what's that one alien from Monsters Inc? The round big guy
Mike Wazowski?
with
Oh, no.
Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski.
Mike Sully, the big one, right? Or
Or
the
Mike-
No,
Sully's the blue one.
Wazowski.
Sully's the blue one. Wazowski's the green one.
I want the
Yeah.
green one.
Okay.
Mike
Wazowski.
for sure. And then Vinny from the movie My Cousin Vinny.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, he was a pretty cool character.
You don't want his fiance?
If I had to choose between the two and I'm at my very last one, I'd choose him. But I would have
You
chosen
have Fran
Melissa.
Dresser. Why not Marissa Tomei?
Because I like
Tomei's
Marissa Tomei,
voice
but, like-
isn't
but I want Fran
obnoxious
Drescher.
and annoying. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
She's trying to make
It's
it
not
that kind of
as a-
party.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's that kind of party.
that's my 12.
My 12. Geez. I think I'm gonna pick people that like I respect like on a creative level or like historical level. Make it easy. No. Let's go with Hunter S. Thompson. Jimmy Page. Johnny Depp too, because
Yes.
you know like he'd probably be there. Wes Craven. Blackbeard the pirate. I've always wanted to like hang out with a pirate.
Yeah, I think actually.
That'd be cool. Who else, man? That's dangerous. This is really, really tough.
Yeah.
I'd probably say Prince because he's a bad motherfucker. So that's what? No, I don't care
It can
about
be
him.
like characters, fictional characters too.
Fictional characters.
Yeah, because I chose Kylo Ren.
Jeez. Yeah. Maybe Jack Sparrow instead of Johnny Depp. I'd probably want Jack Sparrow instead of Johnny
You
Depp.
could do both.
Yeah, nah, because Johnny
It's
Depp's probably
overkill.
boring.
Why do you need
Yeah,
like two?
It's Johnny Depp.
Mickey Mouse would be cool if we're talking characters. And then I'd have to throw Donald in there so they'd be comfortable. Like, man, this is so tough.
It doesn't make any sense. All these other animals.
Shakespeare would be cool. I'd want to hang out with him for a minute. Sorry. What's that, like 8? Bill and Ted, so that's 9, 10. And then just need 2 more. Oh, man. Oh, Edgar Allan Poe. That's a good one.
Ooh.
He'd be cool to hang out with for a second. And 12. Joan of Arc. She'd be an interesting person to hang for.
I was Joan of Arc in my former
There you
life.
go. All right, go ahead.
Maxine of Arc, Bob, Genghis Khan, Herman the Kid, Socrates Johnson.
So who's your 12?
My 12? My grandma and grandpa. Because that's 2 people. So, because I miss them a lot. They were really awesome people. My grandfather was hilarious. He was really cool. My great uncle Stanley, because he was funny too. When you got him and my grandfather in the same room, the jokes were just endless. It was nonstop laughter. My great uncle Joe, he was another funny one. That's one of my grandmother's brothers. He was hilarious. He would always pick on me for being. He was in the Navy in World War II and retired from the Air Force or from the Navy or the Air Force or whatever. But he would give me a hard time because I was in the Marines, so he would joke with me a lot about that. So that was pretty fun. That's 4. I pick 8 more people. My best friend Daryl that lives over in Japan. Him and I were in the Marines together. My buddy Vaughn from the Marines. It's up in New Jersey. Friend Boom from New Orleans. He's a cool cat. My cousin Mike who lives in Cleveland because he's really cool. He's one of my cool cousins that I actually talk to. I have my mom there. She's funny. She's got a real dry sense of humor, and she's a straight shooter. I keep everybody in line. Ryan, I want Ryan to be there because he's cool.
Oh,
And I haven't picked any loud people either yet. I'm not going to pick any loud people because I want the party. So,
everyone's probably
two more. My friend Dave and my friend Josh. There you go. I didn't pick anybody that any of you guys out there in TV land.
Yeah, I would say first Jared Leto since he looks like Jesus. and then we would do
Jesus is black.
and then I would do Jim Carrey from Cable Guy.
ooh,
That character. Jim
Yes.
Carrey from Dumb and Dumber.
okay.
Yeah. Doug from
Yes.
from the cartoon show Doug.
This is good.
Um,
You're on a roll.
yeah,
Go.
yeah. Shut up. And I would say from War of the Worlds back here. No. I would say, yeah, Shakespeare. Yeah, he took that one. That's Shakespeare there. Yeah, we got 6 more.
But Julius Caesar.
Yeah. I'm going to take Marissa Tomei. Yeah. And Adam Sandler. But Adam Sandler from Big Daddy. Yeah. Trying to think. Arnold from Hey Arnold.
No, Terminator 1 Arnold.
Dave Chappelle. Have to have Dave Chappelle.
I love them.
2 more. No, I'm just gonna settle with this. So I have to have my girl Nicki Minaj there.
Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you ever get single.
And one more, I would say. No, these are good questions, man. Never really thought about this. Yeah. Yeah.
That Jesus.
I would say I'm going to go back to the CCR reference. I'm going to say John Boyd.
We'll go with that. So resisting the urge to find 2 people that are completely opposite, so that the whole entire dinner is just an argument, everyone's yelling at each other. I find that hilarious. I would want to go with people who are going to make me laugh. So, so I'm gonna invite some comedians. So we're gonna say like Bill Burr. We're gonna say Dave Chappelle. We're gonna say Mel Brooks. We're gonna say.
He's a joke.
He's a joke.
Kanye.
Mel Brooks.
Now you got me off my train of thought here. Yeah, so at least those, and then of course I'd probably try to find a couple more. Moving on down the line, a couple skateboarders there too. I'm not going to go with necessarily Tony Hawk, but I do think having like Bam Margera or and yeah, you know what? Let's have Steve-O there too.
Ooh.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Steve-O makes everything fun.
Where am I at? That's like 5. Let's do Jack Sparrow. Let's do. Yes, but from the Hannibal, which is his backstory.
Oh, okay.
Whichever one that I forget the name of it. And then, you know what? Let's have Art the Clown there as himself.
Those are the clowns.
And you know what? If Art the Clown's going to be there, then Krusty the Clown's going to be there. And they're going to fight each other to the death.
You should get the Family Guy chicken dude.
Well, if it's him and it's Peter, then that would be also
Yeah,
fight
that'd
to
actually
watch
be a
during
really
the
good
dinner, right? As far as us having a dinner, we gotta have a cook. So let's say Gordon Ramsay. And no, not God. It's gotta be Ramsay. We need some class. You know. He's more like fried foods and.
Who was that one guy that recently passed that traveled around the world?
Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah,
He was, all,
he was good.
and then some more.
I didn't even see him.
Let's have a couple of musicians who I really like, and we'll say Jay Weinberg and I'm digging Art Cruz's stuff recently. So let's say both of them.
G.G. Allen.
Yeah. There you go.
A lot of names.
If you could change one thing in the music industry, what would it be?
I think for me, it's the way that digital music sales or distribution's kind of set up right now. Or just, I think it's the pay scale of how bands are expected to make a living. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like the advent of streaming is great because we all got our music in a better, like, just easier fashion. It's at your fingertips, and it's distributed. And I'm not saying in the pantheon of the music industry, it's always been fair for artists and the scale of like what the labels make or compared to what the artists make. But I mean, there's been generations and decades where artists were allowed to actually make a good living, a successful career out of it. But like right now, I mean, especially when you have like, oh God, well, I forget what the band is, like Architects or somebody I saw on Loud somewhere where they're talking about they're going against the venues, taking percentages. That's and just the way that musicians are expected to
Take care of everything.
yeah, and figure out how to make a living from their art, because you should be able to make a living from it. You know what I mean? But the way that things are kind of set up, it's really hard. So I think that would be the one thing that I would change. Is like, let's figure out a better way for musicians to actually compensate for their time and effort and their work and art if you really truly know what they're doing. You know what I mean? And I just don't think that streaming, and in a certain way that it's there. So if we could do that, that'd be great. Am I like, realistically thinking that's going to happen, soon? No, but that would be what I change.
Yeah, pretty much. Honestly,
That's kind of
that's kind of where I sit. Well,
I would say too. Also, this would be the band.
Oh my God,
Typically,
yes.
Like what, like convenience fees or whatever. Right.
Well, but-
especially when it's a digital.
Right.
Yeah.
And if bands were allowed to make a better living in other ways through, the sale of their music, ticket prices would be so bad.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
it's all
Yeah.
connected in its linked. And the other thing too that I think is something that I thought about recently, we've kind of encountered, is just the climate and the environment of touring right now. It's really tough,
Yes.
with the way prices are, and gas and hotels and stuff like that's really, really high. So, I think it's the venues are starting to kind of turn the lights back on in the most part. They're able to be successful, but there has to be I don't know. Right now, there's such a flooding of bands out there touring, and so that's kind of starting to become pretty difficult too, on some level, to where you got all these bands that want to get out and tour, but you only have so many venues and so many nights and so many dates, kind of thing. So, but I think that will kind of settle itself, in a few months or so.
yeah, once other bands start giving up, we'll open up the door for other people that want to keep doing it. It's just a cycle.
Yeah, I would now I don't say this answer like towards anybody or like hinting anything. I just say it in general because like what I've noticed as a listener and like also in a band, the playbook. in the sense that like when you, for instance, when we grouped up, it took us a moment to really find everybody and gather everybody in the band because on like style and taste, and we really wanted a name that sounded like us and a style that sounded like us. So anybody that is closely follows artists or is an artist, they've noticed that like the algorithm will push music through like Instagram or Twitter or like YouTube that sounds like another band, or like people, they ask you what you sound like, and it's just like the same place over and over again where you kind of start listening to music and it all sounds the same. I would love if record labels would pick up a band or search for a band that sounds different so it is that different sound, or like, you know, TikTok and Instagram doesn't, you know, push an algorithm that it sounds like, you know, something that they've put on repeat, like a sound that kind of goes viral and everybody has to use that sound in order to go viral, but it's just more so like more fine picking, trying to find new sound constantly. Probably that. I wouldn't know really where to start on that, but just labels constantly being repeated. I would love it. There was that like Motley Crue moment where there's a record label agency guy looking for the next big and different thing, and that's what doesn't really happen anymore. It's just yeah. Yeah. So I guess just if maybe like change labels a little bit and trying to go for like different sounds of the music and not actually that same algorithm everybody else tries to do.
Some Bions I'm okay with, you know, charging
That was actually my next question of your feeling on Bions.
So
But you went over that.
depends. So like
Yeah.
if all right, if there's a low level national band that asked us to go out on tour with them for like a week or two and they wanted us to pay $1,000 or something like that, I mean my vote to that might be yes, you know. But if they're gonna say, yeah, we want you to go on tour with us for a week or two, it's gonna cost you $40,000, or we want you to go on tour with us for 3 months, it's gonna cost you $40,000. You know, all of us would know. You know, so yeah, you know, it's gotta make sense. If it makes sense, yeah. You know, but if it's something ridiculous, then you see that's fucking yeah.
Which it also doubles back to what Ryan said about like how there's just a lot of tours and it's hard to keep very different when it comes to like worth. And that's not even with music, but just in general. There's like an overall inflation in everything, housing markets, you know,
Yeah.
not so. You know, because touring is hard and because, you know, being an artist is hard and like streaming is a total thing. Everyone's trying to sound like everybody, you know, you get moments where like a band thinks that they're worth, you know, $30,000 for a tour, but like that's just not the honest to God truth. Or you know,
Plus you're never gonna make $30,000.
yeah. So, you know, a buy-on for the most part is just to be able to cover your overhead, you know, costs. I've been under the impression. So like let's say the Dev went on tour, we're not gonna, you know, stay at the most expensive hotels and stuff. We're gonna stay at like, you know, whatever reasonable, and we're gonna try to keep things at a reasonable price. So if you wanted to buy on a tour with us, we look at like what it costs for us to do a tour, bands, venues, so on, and then we would make an honest and estimated, you know, price towards that. Sometimes it hasn't been happening as much. So you just get these crazy weird numbers. Or you get the people that are pitching you the tour on buy-ons, taxing more money on top of it. And so it just makes it impossible because everyone's just trying to steal money and make money out of nothing rather than, you know, solid product that's worth something and then being invested into where it multiplies. Same time.
Yeah, I mean, Bions are like industry standards. You know, it's probably the dawning of touring music. So whether it's been a management company buying onto another thing, you know, like, so it's always going to exist, and I don't think it's ever going to go away because artists, you know, when they first started, you know, figure out another way to make money. The problem is now because bigger bands aren't making the money that they want. They're not bringing in the numbers that they want. They have to charge higher buy-ons. and it's a gatekeeping method, for a smaller band or a band that's on a label. If the management company can't get into or agencies aren't connecting, then it could be a good-level band, whatever. It never, from a financial standpoint, like dictate like a return. Then whether that return is band-based standpoint or financial standpoint, you got to look at it as an opportunity that you may have to invest. So it's not something that a band should ever say no to 100%. Now, obviously, there's the buy-ons that you get where you go, there's no way this makes sense for us. Based on the numbers, and you can easily go see the capacity, the ticket sales, the tours, for that artist has been doing. So you got to look at it from that, and from a standpoint of a band that takes every band that's trying to make it will do a buy-on at some point in time, unless they got a golden ticket that it's kind of like an overnight thing or whatever. But it's just part of the grind. So I don't hate them. I don't necessarily love them. I know it's a necessary thing that we're gonna eventually kind of all go through. But I just wish that they were a little bit more affordable for the band, and in that respect too, like the contracts were like not, don't do things like have the an opening band, lower level band, kind of have to price match the merchandise with the headliner. So that's not fair. You know what I mean? It's like I get that, and I understand why it's done, but it's like we can't afford to sell our shirt for like $50. We need to be at a certain price range because of kind of what we are. So
Also,
just
if
those
you're
things
the
will make it a little
headlining-
bit easier.
If you're the headlining band, you should be confident that people will want to pay
Oh, right.
$30 for a
just,
shirt.
It's just read it though.
Yeah.
Because more people are going to buy the headline too anyway. Unless we make good enough money. It's still,
Also, thank you to Lilith because she just said follow the dev good night. So thanks, Lilith. Yeah. I'm struggling too, but I can see it a little bit.
So what are you guys working on now?
We're working on a lot.
Yeah.
We've pretty much moved everything in house. Doing some recording. See, right now, actually moved the mixing house too. So
Yeah, my boy.
Yeah.
You hanging.
Yeah. So right now we're finalizing a mix. It's going to be our next single, and also we've already started on recording another song. And we're almost finished recording that. And I got to do a lot of editing. And third of that is what is it? We have a third more.
We have a
Oh yeah,
third
and then
more.
then we also have a third song too. In the works. But that just needs to be mixed as well.
We just finalized the single cover, and then we also recorded our own music video, which we've always kind of had our hands in like the direction of the music video and inspiration. But this one we literally like we're holding the camera ourselves and recording it, and like Chris is the one that was like editing it, and we all had like storylines and plot lines. So everything's more in house, and we're putting 100% or 150% of our efforts in it now, and it's our product is quite literally a piece of us.
Do you have any messages for your fans?
Any messages for your friends?
Oh,
You
me?
have such a look at
Oh, sorry.
I'll let you answer.
I mean, for me, my message is always, just be happy with who you are and what you're doing in your life, whatever that may be. You get your go around on this little thing, and just like I sum everything up with this like little like sentence fragment structure or whatever, but it's kind of a philosophy that I came up with, and it's like passion is your purpose and fear is just a motivation. And if you like take life by that like standard, you always want to follow what your passions are and just what you want to do. And then any type of fear that you have, whether it's like getting up in front of your class or like, skiing or like whatever, jumping off of a huge diving board, it's just that just let that motivate you to either conquer that or kind of understand yourself a little bit better. So Just be happy, be you, and just go out and achieve what you want to achieve, man. And don't let anybody stop you from, achieving your goals and your dreams.
Very well said.
Thank you.
And thank you. We love you. And we'll see you soon. And buy our stuff.
To the music.
Listen to the music.
Get to this
Go to our
music
online
now.
merch store. Get the music now. Come on.
Speaking of that, do you want to drop your handles?
Sure. We're on Facebook at the Dev Music. We're on Instagram at the Dev Band. We're on TikTok at the Dev Band. We also have an online website and store at thedevbandonline.com. You can go there, find links to all our socials, as well as any kind of cool sweatshirts, t-shirts, Razorback tanks, all that kind of fun stuff is on there.
Online.com/store.
Yeah. Or
Helmets.
or either way.
Flamethrowers.
Flamethrowers. We got all kinds of fun stuff on there.
Fireworks.
Fireworks.
Coming soon. Possibly
Baseball,
air
cereal,
fresheners. Air fresheners possibly coming soon.
Yeah,
Maybe.
actually, air fresheners. Yeah.
Maybe.
We have some stuff that we sell at shows that's different than what we sell online, and vice versa. So
Yeah.
check us out both places to get all that kind of fun stuff.
And then March 12th, you can come see us open for the Hippie Texas Coalition.
Texas Hippie Code.
Texas Hippie
Said it
Coalition.
wrong, my bad. Coalition.
Conduit.
Whatever. Conduit. A little dyslexia here. But yeah, come see us.
Yeah,
Where is that at?
it's going to be at
Park,
Conduit
Florida.
in Winter Park. Yeah,
6700 Aloma Avenue, Winter Park, Florida.
knows the
Conduit.
address. Look at that. I'd have to look that
Good
up.
PR.
My whole entire childhood based in that bar, the Haven, and now it's called the Conduit. Really cool
Just called
place.
Conduit, yeah.
Conduit.
It's all the conduits.
You could go on our Instagram, go in our link tree. It's linktree.com/the Dev Band. And all of our links are there. And you could even buy the tickets to the Conduit show with Texas Hippie Coalition and everything Chris just said.
All right, guys, I'd like to thank you for your time. Just a reminder, this is on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube, and Twitch.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Right on.
Thank you.
Have a great night, guys.
You too.
Take care.
Take care.
Thank you.